This is Cosmos in India, Carl Sagan, Astronomer, Hindu Brahm Vedic Mythology, the Oldest Religion, Hinduism, by Mawai Dam 14 years ago. That's a long time ago.
In many cultures, the customary answer is that a god or gods created the universe out of nothing. But if we wish to pursue this question courageously, we must, of course, ask the next question. Where did God come from? If we decide that this is an unanswerable question, why not save a step and conclude that the origin of the universe is an unanswerable question? Or, if we say that God always existed, why not save a step?
It's supposed to be some 80s documentary.
The universe always existed. There's no need for a creation. It was always here. These are not easy questions. Cosmology brings us face to face with the deepest mysteries, with questions that were once treated only in religion and myth.
Science has helped that. Like measuring the time of the Earth and all that with some ancient rocks from asteroid. Also stuff like for how old they are, using like, what was it? Radiation, not radiation. Some element like uranium maybe into those asteroid rocks, and there's like some way to measure how old they are because of it. I forget the exact detail. It's all beyond my brain level, but it's very interesting.
Who knows for certain? Who shall here declare it? Whence was it born? Whence came creation? The gods are later than this world's formation. Who then can know the origins of the world? None knows whence creation arose, or whether he has or has not made it, he who surveys it from the lofty skies.
Surveys it.
Only he knows, or perhaps he knows not. These words are 3,500 years old. They're taken from the Rig Veda, a collection of early Sanskrit hymns. The most sophisticated ancient cosmological ideas came from Asia, and particularly from India. Here, there's a tradition of skeptical questioning and unself-conscious humility before the great cosmic mysteries.
It's okay, unfiltered. You don't have to delete your comments. It's fine.
In, say, the
it's fine, it's
harvesting
fine.
and winnowing of grain, people all over the world have wondered, where did the universe come from? Asking
where
this
did it come from?
is a hallmark of our species. There's a natural tendency to understand the origin of the cosmos in familiar biological terms, the mating of cosmic deities, or the hatching of a cosmic egg, or maybe the intonation of some magic phrase.
Nice, but
the Big Bang is our modern scientific creation myth. It comes from the same human need to solve the cosmological riddle. Most cultures imagine the world to be only a few hundred human generations old. Hardly anyone guessed that the cosmos might be far older, but the ancient Hindus did.
But is that true? Like, most cultures actually think only a few hundred human generations old? Like, didn't they find like stuff on the dinosaur time and all that, and realize that there must have been a lot more thousands of years to like just Earth's history, which would mean for like the universe itself even more and all that? Like, was it not that common to find dinosaur stuff back then? Dinosaur and whatever else there was.
They, like every other society, noted and calibrated the cycles in nature. The rising and setting of the sun and stars, the phases of the moon, the passing of the seasons.
Okay. Musique au sword.
All over South India, an age-old ceremony takes place every January. a rejoicing in the generosity of nature in the annual harvesting of the crops. Every January, nature provides the rice to celebrate Pangal. Even the draft animals are given the day off and garlanded with flowers.
Very pretty cow.
Colorful designs are painted on the ground to attract harmony and good fortune for the coming year.
Yes. It's a bit of artistic
Pangal,
tiles.
a simple porridge, a mixture of rice and sweet milk, symbolizes the harvest, the return of the seasons. However, this is not merely a harvest festival. It has ties to an elegant and much deeper cosmological tradition.
Okay. That's a long flute, maybe?
The Pongal festival is a rejoicing in the fact that there are cycles in nature. But how could such cycles come about unless the gods will them? And if there are cycles in the years of humans, might there not be cycles in the eons of the gods? The Hindu religion is the only one of the world's great faiths dedicated to the idea that the cosmos itself undergoes an immense, indeed an infinite, number of deaths and rebirths.
So can Hinduism solve entropy? To continue from the last video we watched. But I guess that is the answer, yeah. Like, that there wouldn't be entropy, like the absolute death of the universe and the death of absolutely everything. There would be a reverse eventually. Fair enough. So it is, well, not the solution, but the belief that entropy isn't a thing then, yeah.
It is the only religion in which the timescales correspond, no doubt by accident, to those of modern scientific cosmology. Its cycles run from our ordinary day and night to a day and night of Brahma, 8.64 billion years long, longer than the age of the Earth or the Sun, and about half the time since the Big Bang. And there are much longer time scales still.
Okay.
There is the deep and appealing notion that the universe is but the dream of the god, who, after 100 Brahma years, dissolves himself into a dreamless sleep, and the universe dissolves with him, until, after another Brahma century, he stirs, recomposes himself, and begins again to dream the great cosmic lotus dream.
Interesting concept.
Meanwhile, elsewhere, there are an infinite number of other universes, each with its own god,
Yeah, I see.
dreaming the cosmic dream. These great ideas are tempered by another, perhaps still greater. It is said that men may not be the dreams of the gods, but rather that the gods are the dreams of men.
I mean, that's what I think a lot of people might say, yeah, this idea that obviously, you know, all religions and so the gods within the religions are like just man's creation to, you know, just have an answer for things that they could not answer themselves yet or just at all, right? I mean, That's been a concept for a while.
There are many gods, and each god has many manifestations. These Chola bronzes cast in the 11th century include several different incarnations of the god Shiva, seen here at his wedding. The most elegant and sublime of these bronzes is a representation of the creation of the universe at the beginning of each cosmic cycle, a motif known as the cosmic dance of Shiva. The god has 4 hands. In the upper right hand is a drum whose sound is the sound of creation. In the upper left hand is a tongue of flame, a reminder that the universe, now newly created, will, billions of years from now, be utterly destroyed. Creation, destruction.
The cycle, yeah. Bam, bam, bam.
These profound and lovely ideas are central to ancient Hindu beliefs, as exemplified in this Chola temple at Dharasuram. They are a kind of premonition of modern astronomical ideas. Without doubt, the universe has been expanding since the Big Bang, but it is by no means clear that it will continue to expand
Hello.
forever.
Hello.
If there is less
How you doing?
than a certain amount of matter in the universe, then the mutual gravitation of the receding galaxies will be insufficient to stop the expansion, and the universe will run away forever.
Okay.
But if there is more matter than we can see, hidden away in black holes, say, or in hot but invisible gas between the galaxies, then the universe holds together and partakes of a very Indian succession of cycles: expansion followed by contraction, cosmos upon cosmos, universes without end. If we live in such an oscillating universe, then the Big Bang is not the creation of the cosmos, but merely the end of the previous cycle, the destruction of the last incarnation of the cosmos.
You know, I don't know if I like this idea more, that again, entropy isn't a thing, and yeah, you can, Neil, you can. You know, like, life is, like, everything will die eventually, but life overall, in whatever form it may take, is endless. So there's never going to be a state where, like, everything is absolutely gone. I do like that idea in a world of, like, an anime called Chi, about the movement of the Earth. It's an anime about, like, characters in Poland in the 16th century, I think, who are trying to prove heliocentrism, because at the time there was another idea that, you know, like, within the religion and all that, you know, Earth was actually at the center of the universe, and, you know, everything was gravitating around Earth, you know what I mean? And there's a character who basically says that, you know, no matter what, he wants to believe in heliocentrism because it's a much more beautiful idea than the other ideas. And I think, you know, personally thinking about all this, I guess I'd rather believe in the idea that, yeah, again, everything that live will die eventually, but there isn't going to be an absolute finite end to life itself in whatever form it is. So there isn't going to ever be, like, an absolute end of the universe. Well, there might be an end of our universe, but there's always going to be something out there, some form of life, some universe, some planets, some, you know, biological life form. I do like that idea, as it's beautiful, you know, rather than just eventually there's an absolute end with nothing, and that's absolutely terrifying. Yeah.
Neither of these modern cosmologies may be altogether to our liking. In one cosmology, the universe is created somehow from nothing 15 to 20 billion years ago and expands forever, the galaxies mutually receding until the last one disappears over our cosmic horizon. Then the galactic astronomers are out of business. The stars cool and die, matter itself decays, and the universe becomes a thin, cold haze of elementary particles. In the other, the oscillating universe, the cosmos has no beginning and no end. And we are in the midst of an infinite cycle of cosmic deaths and rebirths, with no information trickling through the cusps of the oscillation. Nothing of the galaxies, stars, planets, life forms, civilizations evolved in the previous incarnation of the universe trickles through the cusp, flitters past the Big Bang.
I don't dislike the idea there, yeah. I mean, I think that's fine. I think that's fine as well.
To be known in our universe.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting idea as well.
The death of the universe in
Wow, look at
either
the temple.
cosmology may seem a little depressing, but we may take some solace in the timescales involved.
Yeah, obviously.
These events will take tens of billions of years or more. Human beings, or our descendants, whoever they might be, can do a great deal of good in tens of billions of years before the cosmos dies.
Yeah.
If the universe truly oscillates, if the modern scientific version of the old Hindu cosmology is valid, then still stranger questions arise. Some scientists think that when redshift is followed by blue shift, causality will be inverted and effects will precede causes. First, the ripples spread out from a point on the water's surface. Then, I throw the stone into the pond. Some
Breaking
scientists wonder,
reality
in an
itself.
oscillating universe, about what happens at the cusps, at the transition from contraction to expansion. Some think that the laws of nature are then randomly reshuffled, that the kinds of physics and chemistry we have in this universe represent only one of an infinite range of possible natural laws.
Maybe.
It is easy
But
to
this seems a
see
bit more far-fetched.
that only a very restricted range of laws of nature are consistent with galaxies and stars, planets, life, and intelligence. If the laws of nature are randomly reshuffled at the cusps, then it is only the most extraordinary coincidence that the cosmic slot machine has this time come up with a universe consistent with us.
Yeah.
Do we live in a universe which expands forever, or in one where there is a nested set of infinite cycles? There's a way to find out the answer to that question, not by mysticism, but through science, by making an accurate census of the total amount of matter in the universe, or by seeing to the very edge of the cosmos.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess there's always new discoveries being done all the time, right? Often on Reddit, I check out the popular post of the day, and it's pretty common to see some like new scientific discovery or re-understanding of some previous concept or some previous finding, right? I mean, again, reminder that we're like, the last 100 years have been absolutely insane in terms of like the advancement of technology, science, and everything, right? I mean, it's only been like one person's lifetime since, someone went to space. I mean, it's been like someone would be in, if they were born at the time that we first went to space, they're like in the 60s or 70s. It's only been that long, right? Like one human time. We're still at the baby level of it, right? And in all these decades, like no one else has went to the moon, right? And it's only now that, some companies and some countries are thinking of doing it again. We're still at such a baby level. And, many things that we think we understand now, kind of like the concept of the Big Bang, might be to an extent off in some way, in some big way, in some small way. And be it in our lifetime or in main generation lifetime, some things will be completely understood in totally different ways, right? I mean, it's very interesting. Yeah. I used to not really care, but now I often actually read this kind of articles when I see it, like some new understanding of scientific discovery, right? I do find it very interesting. So great documentary. great host, I would say, and very interesting, very interesting. Good stuff. Here's the link. Very interesting.